So far, we are done with the functions, we are done with if-else statements, loops, basics of Python, variables, and everything, right? This is the final module of this course. And after that, we only have the bonus section, right? So this module is called Object-Oriented Programming, Object-Oriented Paradigm. Both are synonyms, or in short, it is called OOP. So now, the first word is object. Now, what is an object? Well, in Python, by the way, everything is an object. When you will be done with this section, you will get to know you are already working with objects, because in Python, everything is object. Now, what is an object? Now, object has two important components. First one is object has attributes. Second one is object has behavior. What do we mean by that? Attribute means every object has its own personal variables. Behavior means every object can depict the same, the same function in different manners. Let me explain it a little bit more. For example, let's say I am an object. I have some personal attributes, some personal variables like my name, my age, my height, my weight, and whatnot, right? Then behavior. Let's say I speak in a particular format, in a particular manners, right? I walk in a particular manners. I run in a particular manner. I eat, drink, everything. My behavior is different. Then there's another object, which is, let's say, another human. The name, age, ID, all these things will be different for the other human being. The speaking pattern will be different. The walking pattern will be different, right? So behavior will be different. So although we both object, we are the same species, right? But the exhibition of behavior is different for both of us. And then let's say there's an animal. Animal also walks, but its behavior is completely different. Same goes out in programming, right? We will define an overall structure of the class, right? For example, so far we have learned about data structures like list, like tuples. What if I want to create my own data structure? I can create it by using object-oriented programming, where everything will act as an object. Everything will have its own personal variables. Everything will have its own personal functions, which are called methods or behavior, right? I know things are a bit blurry so far. Things will get more clear when we'll dive into the coding section or practical section of this module. Now, there are four fundamentals, four important things in object-oriented programming, four most important benefits of OOP that we will learn inside the course. Let me just go through them over here, and practical thing is coming is coming down the line, so you will learn more specific about those things later. First thing is that is offered by OOP is encapsulation. The concept of privacy. So all the variables will not be visible to the outside world. Some of the information, perhaps all the information, depends upon how we code it, will be encapsulated inside the object. For example, about me, everything is not public. There is something that can only be accessed from inside me, that is there inside my mind, right? So how to implement this encapsulation thing inside OOP? We will learn that. Then comes up the concept of inheritance. Inheritance obviously means, let's say, using some properties of our ancestors. For example, someone can say that, hey, he's very tall or she's very tall. Perhaps their parents were tall, that's why he's tall. Or maybe inheriting the property of the parents, a financial or the land property or something like that, right? So using the property of ancestors is called inheritance. Same goes out in Python. Since we learned the principle of reusability by using functions, the same goes out over here as well. For example, if there is an object, one object can act as a parent of another object. Now this child object can use the property of the parent object, right? So this is kind of thing that we will implement inside this module. The third thing is polymorphism. I discussed earlier, the same behavior can be depicted differently amongst the objects. For example, my walking pattern, again, I can also walk, an animal can also walk, but both of the walking patterns will be different, both of the walking behaviors will be different, right? This thing will be covered inside polymorphism. And finally, the principle of abstraction, where, for example, if we are defining the top level class, but we don't know much about it right now. For example, we are defining a class human. Later on, this human will have multiple categories. This human can be a student, this human can be an employee, this human can be a business owner, and so on and so forth. Now, what should be the abstract properties, the abstract behaviors of this human? Obviously, every human will have a name. Every human will have an ID. This is something that will be common amongst all these different humans: student, a businessman, and salaried person, or the employee, right? So these things will be defined in the abstract class or the base class. And then in the lower class, in the children class, we'll be defining rest of the factors, like for the student, perhaps marks will be a different variable. For the employee, salary will be a different variable. For business owner, maybe profit or revenue, something like that will be a different variable. That will not be the similar amongst all these objects, right? All these classes. So these are the concepts. Again, if you're getting 10 to 15% of what I'm saying right now, that's great. If you're not getting even this, just remember what I'm saying and go through the whole module where we're practically implementing everything. And then come back to this video again. Then you will know what I was talking about. And then you will better know how to relate this information that I'm telling right now with the content that is there inside the sections. One more thing, by the end of the section, we have a mini project that is a little bit lengthier, where we are implementing a game. Not actually by using user interface, but how a backend of a game actually works by using object-oriented programming. You will learn that.